Interestingly, I'm reading straight from the screen. Guests often remember how a problem was handled more than the problem itself. Yes, because that's part of hospitality. We understand as a normal person, and I've traveled a lot, I understand shit happens, but if you're willing to take ownership of that and fix it, like figure it out so that it's solved and I don't have to be the one to figure it out. I'm over here, I've got other things I'm supposed to do. I need to walk into having this space already set, done. Everything's supposed to work. I'm not expecting perfection or magic here, but it needs to work so I don't have to try to make it work. That part's not my job. So anytime I get pulled away from what I need to focus on to take care of something you should have already taken care of, now there's already an issue. Hey everybody, welcome to Small Business Success Talk. I'm your host, Christy Smallwood. Welcome back. I have been on the road and we're going to talk about that today. And what I mean by that is this, so give you some context. If you've not been around, catch you up a little bit. I have over the past couple of years been transitioning into a different business model. So my previous model was I have a marketing agency in which I do a lot of do for you services. So I and my team would handle all of your social media, create your website, do your ads, the whole 9 yards. Whatever you needed, we could get it done. That after the wreck in 24, and my pipeline had dried up and an AI, like the perfect storm, said, okay, it's time for me to shift. So I have now been shifting my entire business model. I no longer advertise or try to generate leads for the marketing agency as it was. So now my agency is a VIP service only. If you really want me and the team to do your marketing services, you have to be accepted into I have to accept you. If I don't want to work with you, I'm not going to. Good luck. May the odds be ever in your favor. Because the world's just a little different since AI has become very prevalent. Not everybody knows how to use it strategically, and therefore most of what you see out there is just crap, and I'm not fighting the quantity. I'm not going to fight your quantity because I know we produce quality over here. So that's why that's happening. So in the shift of this, I'm finally at a place of, I hear you, God. Things have been happening that says the Holy Spirit's just knocked me in my head and going, I have tried to get you to do this for years. So here we are. I have transitioned to where my business model is all about identity integrity. What I have found over the years of working with business leaders, entrepreneurs at that C-suite level, whether the business owner or they're the CEO or a senior leader, everything has a root issue to it. And what you see as the problems out here are just the symptoms of what this root issue is. And the root issue is honestly you. And not because you're a bad person. It's because you don't have your identity defined. Like you haven't identified who you really are. And there's gaps. And that gap creates frustration. And it feels like this tug of war inside of us all the time. And so what happens is we tend to get, if we're in a position of leadership, and it's out of our comfort zone, we tend to do two things. Have imposter syndrome that leads to burnout because we're overcompensating for something and we do too much, and then we don't not do things because we're trying to prove that we're worthy to be there. It gets kind of convoluted. So there's all of that conversation that's in our heads that is in our absolute fiber of our being. I help break that open a little bit so that we can define who you are, and you now have a clear picture of who you are and how you're going to show up in different situations, in different rooms, as the same person. Hear me clearly, as the same person. So that there's congruency, it's the big fancy word, it's integrity, and it is strong throughout the chain of events in your day. There is no, I have to be this person at work and I get to be who I am, who I want to be at home. Nope. Let's change that. That's fucking exhausting. Nobody's got time for that. So that's the direction that this new business model is going. And the methods that I use to help with that is anything from a keynote that inspires people to make a change from the stage, to training, groups, facilitating, retreats, coaching. All of those methods ultimately produce this identity integrity. And that's one of the reasons I wrote the Being Super, Being Villainous books, the tete-a-tete style. You get being super on one side, being villainous on the other. And in fact, I have, oh, look at me go. Hold up. I have a proof right here. I'm still waiting on Amazon to get their shit together so I can actually start selling it. Hey, so being super on one side, and you flip it, and it's being villainous on the other. So if you see the video, you'll know what I'm talking about. And what this book is the framework for the rhythm of our lives. So which version of us is showing up? Is it our hero side or is it our villain side? And ultimately, we want to be able to converge the two to live in our whole self state. And that's what identity integrity is. That's where it's born from. Okay, so all of that leads up to today's conversation that we're talking about. Let's take a peek behind hospitality industry, hotels specifically today. In the process of this whole change is also a change in my lifestyle, how I am living my life, experiencing it, where I'm living, all the whole nine yards. In the beginning of this, it was I am just trying to find a roof over my head. And so I had some friends in Orlando who were like, come live with us for a while. Now, I have lived with other people before because I've been in these kind of situations before. It is a cycle. That's it. I'm done. We're making some changes back to identity integrity. We're making some changes here. But my friends in Orlando were like, hey, come stay with us. I know after a certain time frame, you tend to kind of wear out your welcome if you're brand new to a space. So I'm like, and I also need to be in Louisville at times, but I'm like, I don't have to be in Louisville, but for like a week at a time. So what I did is I split my time. It was a month up there, a month in Orlando. And now things are starting to get into this space of, I really only need to be north like a couple of weeks, and I can be in Orlando for 6 weeks. So we're shifting how this rhythm is working a little bit. So my conversation with myself last night was, what does this look like as I continue to build the business around all of this? Because to do training and keynoting, I'm going to be traveling a lot. So what does that traveling a lot lifestyle look like for me? Having that conversation became what kind of hotel rooms do I really want to stay in? So this past month being, the recording date of this is August 2, which is by my birthday month, all month. So I have traveled in July to no less than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different hotels in July. And part of that is the traveling back and forth between Louisville and Orlando, because I do like to give myself a couple of days in between, completely to myself, so that I can do whatever I want, however I want, with nobody to have to share that space with, because that's what I've been doing most of my life. So thinking through is like, okay, each one of these hotels is a totally different experience. What do I like about that? And what do I not like about it? And so then I was like, ooh, wait, this would make a great episode. So now here we are. So let me start out with, let's just go down through the list. So I did ask Chat to help me out with some of this things. And I was like, okay, what are the top 10 complaints that people would typically have when it comes to hotel guests? And then we're going to talk about my own experiences. So the number one, poor cleanliness. This is where, like, dirty bathrooms, there's leftover hair on things, furniture's dusty, the carpets are stained, odors, moldy or mildew, things like that. Well, guests often forgive a small room before they'll forgive a dirty room. And that's the truth. Number two, unfriendly or indifferent staff. That's a whole episode all by itself. You know what I'm talking about. And even Jack says, hospitality is at its core about making people feel welcome. There are some places that don't do that. They just don't. Number three, long check-in or check-out times. Especially if there's billing errors, you want to check that every so often. First and last impressions of a stay carries disproportionate weight, as the chat says. Number four, complaint, noise. And that's usually either mechanical noises or noise from the neighbors next on the other side of the wall, kind of stuff. It could even be traffic if you're too close to a high traffic area. Number five, maintenance issues. So like the air conditioner doesn't work or the heater in the winter. Plumbing problems. If there's leaks or it doesn't flush right. Broken locks. That's not acceptable. Flickering lights, slow drains, malfunctioning key cards. Oh, I just had that yesterday too. Oh, that was nerve-wracking. I was like, and I even had that at the Hilton. Those key cards, man. And I'm glad that they give me two, even though I'm only one person, because sometimes one key card isn't working right, and I have to flip it out, change it out to the other key card. Anyway. And it says guests generally don't expect perfection, but they do expect things to work. Standards. Number six, hidden fees or poor value. So if you're going somewhere like Orlando, there's going to be resort fees to that. They add that resort fee because there's additional taxes or there's additional parking charges. Your resort fee includes when there's a pool and they provide your towels. That's a resort fee. The pool is a resort fee, like just maintaining a pool. If there's laundry service on site, like those things kind of go into that resort fee. If there's Wi-Fi fees, I just had that yesterday. It was not a free Wi-Fi, but it was also the lowest price point on my hotel list. This past month, I've been trying all kinds of different ones because I was at conference for a handful of days. That's a Hilton, and that was a over $200 a night kind of situation. Yesterday, because I'm trying to think it doesn't matter which order. I stayed at an $80 a night. Where I'm at right now was a $95 a night. And then Hilton, of course, was $2 something. And then my Comfort Inn and Suites that I typically stay at in McDonough, Georgia, it is $125, $128. So those have been my price points. But when there's hidden fees that you're not aware of, that changes the budget really fast. And if it messes with your budget, it bites into something else. I am on a budget. Let's make no mistake. I am watching every penny fly out the window. I'm watching every penny that goes on these things. And I'm like, I didn't expect that. You have to have a conversation. But this is why I like to do things on the front end, and I get all of that fees so that I know how to budget. If there's expensive snacks, I hardly ever. I prefer to have my snacks with me that I've gotten ahead of time. But that's a road trip. There's a different way. Like if you are flying, like a different conference, that's what Instacart is for. Like get you some snacks delivered so that you're not paying the hotel fee for the snacks because they're sometimes triple the amount. Anyway, number 7, inaccurate room descriptions. We've all been there. If it's the room smaller, if it's a different view. And I only chuckle because sometimes it gets promoted as a, beach view. If you tilt your head a certain way. If there's missing amenities, photos that don't match reality, the bed type is incorrect, all those things. Incorrect room descriptions is number 7. So number 8 is poor housekeeping service. We can't. I would prefer to just tell them, don't clean while I'm here. Wait till it's done. If I need new towels, I'll let you know. Because there are times I don't really trust people a whole lot being in my room. And sometimes they just don't. Like, I have something else I want you to take that's trash and you didn't take it. What's the point? Just make sure I've got the supplies I need. That's it. That's great.
I just want to take a minute to thank the sponsor of our show, 502 Hemp in Louisville and 812 Hemp in Clarksville, Indiana. If you are looking for quality legal cannabis products, they are definitely your source. If you have questions of what would work best for you, their educated staff can help you choose the best product for your needs, like they did with me. I was having some real issues. One, my hormones were raging and I was raging all the time, just not in a very good place. And when I went to the store and I expressed everything that was going on, they asked additional questions that helped them get me to a solution. And the solution meaning better sleep at night, my inflammation's lower. I have been able to just be a better quality of life with my whole mental attitude because these things work great. My preference is the Maria products. That is a special blend that 502 Hemp owners have created themselves. And I use the Ultra Spectrum CBD gummies, the blood orange. It's 1,000 milligrams. Like this is the potent stuff, like meaning it's the highest milligrams I can get. And I need that for what my system needs. You may not need that much. They also have oils. And so I love the full spectrum here as well. But they have ranges, and according to what you're looking for to help in your body, they can help guide you in that way. So check them out at either 502hemp.com or 812hemp.com. Or if you're driving by, stop in one of the stores and they will absolutely be able to help you out. There's no need to wait for a medical dispensary to open. They have safe, reliable products now. And if you stop in a store, tell them Christy sent you, they'll give you 15% off. And not only that, but if you order online, 502hemp.com or 812hemp.com, and you put in that discount code of success, you'll also get 15% off. So check them out today. And I very much appreciate them being a sponsor of Small Business Success Talk.
All right, so number 9, food and beverage issues, which is also a thing. So if I'm booking a room and it says breakfast included, I now know, ask what kind of breakfast that is. I am not the continental pastry girl for breakfast. I need protein. I need some eggs and some meat and like give me some good protein. And I'm not talking oatmeal. Please don't come at me with oatmeal and I'm not that in the morning. My belly does not like that stuff in the mornings. So I have to clarify what kind of breakfast it is. I did not clarify yesterday breakfast. I did clarify this one. So I'm like, okay, I knew it. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's going to be one of those pastry continental breakfasts, which means take something that I can cook in the room. Like there's microwaves, there's like I'm pre-planning ahead of time. But if you don't expect it, so back to limited options. There's cold breakfast. There's a poor, like if you're saying poor room service. Hell, I've been staying in places that don't even have room service. You go down for breakfast. Let's talk small business budget here. But at the Hilton, we had breakfast as part of the conference. So that was nice. But I also had a problem at Hilton with getting my food delivered in a timely fashion. It was not a good experience the first night. I had to go deal with that. And that is not something that you want to have to do. Food and beverage issues. Whew. Okay. And number 10, poor problem resolution. Now, this is kind of across the board. I don't know exactly where the problem is unless I get in there. But here's some bullet points that chat give me. The staff pass the guest around. Absolutely, that happens. There's no ownership of the issue. Abso-fucking-lutely, that happens. Slow response. No follow-up. I'm feeling ignored. Interestingly, I'm reading straight from the screen. Guests often remember how a problem was handled more than the problem itself. Yes, because that's part of hospitality. We understand as a normal person, and I've traveled a lot, I understand shit happens, but if you're willing to take ownership of that and fix it, like figure it out so that it's solved and I don't have to be the one to figure it out. I'm over here, I've got other things I'm supposed to do. I need to walk into having this space already set, done. Everything's supposed to work. I'm not expecting perfection or magic here, but it needs to work so I don't have to try to make it work. That part's not my job. So anytime I get pulled away from what I need to focus on to take care of something you should have already taken care of, now there's already an issue. So poor problem resolution. And for me, I think a lot of that is the frontline staff may not know where they are empowered to actually take action. That happens a lot in every business. That frontline person just doesn't know, hey, I don't know if I can even handle taking care of this for you. So think about that in your own business. Have you empowered your frontline people to help problem solve? Because all of this other stuff could be handled with that frontline person having the ability to take ownership of things. So what are the real, we think about complaints. What are the complaints behind the complaints? And I love that chat give me this. It can be a great conversationalist. Come on. So what the guests usually say, the room was dirty, the staff didn't care, nobody answered the phone, nobody answered the phone. Like I said, I have stayed at hotels that have the price point of $80 all the way up to over $200. Hilton was over $200. And in my previous life at KFC, we stayed at swanky places. And when I say swanky, we're talking the Palace in New York, swanky, was one. And then Las Vegas, and then places in like Boulder, Colorado, like just really fancy places. That price point for the hotel would retail at least $400 and up. Ideally, we got it for like $3 something because we were bringing in a bulk of people, but still, damn. I've been in those places, and whenever the phone doesn't get answered, versus here at the $80 place or the $90 place, phone gets answered. They were on it, but that's not every place either. So it's wild to me, the inconsistencies across brands, across experiences. Okay. The room was dirty. The staff didn't care. Nobody answered the phone. We had to wait forever. Anybody had that experience? The AC didn't work. Y'all, some of these smaller places, for sure, with window units, and I say that because I'm in one of those places right now. I've actually turned it off for audio purposes today, but this one works great. The one that I was at before also worked great, but that room stank to high heaven because it was so chemical odor. They cleaned, but whatever they cleaned with was just, I couldn't breathe. So a little extra trick, if I didn't already say it, I put deodorant I put my stick deodorant on the fan on the output and just let it. Something had to work. I tried to air out the room anyway. So there's the guess whenever we say that kind of stuff, there is back to this identity integrity. There's something underneath all of that that's also happening. So what we're really, really saying here is I don't feel respected. I don't feel like I've been heard. I don't trust this place. I can't relax. The experience didn't match the promise. I feel let down because I just need a place to be myself. I've paid for a space, a room to be myself in for the night. I've already exhausted myself driving for the day or flying or trying to get somewhere. I need a place to rest, relax, and prep for the next step. That's it. But if that isn't in order and it's not, then I'm out of sorts. And let me tell you something, the world does not need Christy to be out of sorts. That's why you should have coffee ready every morning. Coffee and protein, that'd be great. So then I was like, okay, I don't want to focus on all of the negative stuff because that's not really what I want to do. I love to like, let's conquer this. What are the problems and the issues? But then also like, what is working? When it works, let's talk about when it works. What does it take to get the 5-star review? We know what it takes to get everybody to bitch about something. Is basically don't follow through with what your basic standards of experience are going to be for your business. So if you are out here going, okay, this is the quality of service that we're going to do, and you don't do it, that's negative reviews. That is loss of integrity for your brand identity. See how this works? Okay, so now let's talk about when it works. And now we've said, okay, my brand promise is this. This is the standards by which you should be able to experience it. So, top 10 things guests love about hotels. So when the brand promise comes through and you get a 5-star review, here's what this is going to look like. Number 1, the staff that makes them feel genuinely welcome. I will say, my lower end hotels, they have been some of the nicest, funniest, welcoming people I have experienced so far. I tend to spend a lot of time in the halfway mark on this road nomad lifestyle. So my halfway mark is in Georgia. I'm north of Atlanta or south of Atlanta. It's, somewhere roundabouts in there. So when I stay in these places, they're not Atlanta. They're outside of Atlanta, which makes them a smaller community. And they're just such nice people, and I love it. And like we joked about breakfast when I got here last night, because I asked about Hardee's. Hardee's is a whole nother conversation for a different episode. But sometimes there's something in a fast food chain you're like, I have been wanting that for months now, and Hardee's is just disappearing all over the place on me. But there's a Hardee's right next door. And I'm like, please tell me, is that live or is that also closed? And they're like, oh no, it's under new management. It's like, they're like, oh, do you not want our breakfast in the morning? I'm like, oh no, we're still doing breakfast. I'm just like, that Frisco burger sandwich is what I'm wanting tonight for dinner. So we just like had a great conversation. They were very helpful. They pointed out all of the things. This is a Quality Inn, okay? A Quality Inn, a choice brand Quality Inn hotel. They have vehicle charging station out in the front. He told me exactly where my room was going to be, exactly how to get there, all of the amenities. Like he walked through and he was training another person, and she's like, I'm never going to get this. And I was like, you'll be fine. Give it yourself a couple. Like, it was just as if I'd been here 50 times and they welcomed me in. It was a wonderful experience. Okay. So the staff makes them feel genuinely welcome. This is almost always number 1. People write things like, everyone knew my name. The front desk made us feel like family. They treated us like VIPs. The staff went above and beyond. Okay, so the business lesson for this is Hospitality is emotional before it's operational. It's no joke. There was back, and I say back in the day, probably 2007, 8, on a KFC board meeting weekends. And we all flew into Chicago and we stayed at the Omni in Chicago. And it was the most amazing experience I'd ever had in a hotel. They had all my preferences already locked in because my allergies and sinuses are so bad. I'm like, oh, please don't give me feathers. I don't want to sleep on feathers. So they give me like we have your hypoallergenic pillows already ready. We have extras in case you need them, and they're in the that place has the robes and the slippers and the whole 9 yards. But when I came back, either down to go out or back up, I was recognized and called by my name out of the hundreds of people who were also in that same space. They recognized me and called me by my name. It was an amazing experience. Okay, so the next one, number 2, spotless cleanliness. Notice, people, we don't appraise acceptable cleanliness, but we notice when it's immaculate. Everything sparkled. It smelled fresh. So it has a soft, clean smell to it, not chemical. I know that you just cleaned. I feel the bleach. I got it. But it just feels like the room feels like it's brand new. Like cleanliness communicates respect. We have prepared the space for you. Number 3, comfortable beds and amazing sleep. Yeah. There was a hotel. I went to another conference and it was in, I want to say Houston. I think that's right. No. This one was Spokane. Again, let me get my hotels right. We were in Spokane. They were actually selling the bed, the mattresses. You could order a mattress for your own self. It was the wildest thing. So, because people are like, the mattress was perfect, the pillows were incredible, I didn't want to get out of bed. There's hotels also sell rest. Like, think about it. Have a restful night's sleep. That is what they're selling to you. Number 4, thoughtful little surprises. These often create the strongest emotional memories, like a little welcome note or complimentary cookies, local treats, birthday acknowledgments, free room upgrades, champagne, personalized recommendations. People love feeling noticed. So even if you're at a small budget place, personal recommendations like, hey, we're having a Friday night on the square, you should check it out. And they're like, that's a great idea. So Friday night on the square would not have done that. Beautiful atmosphere. Guests love places that make them stop and say, wow. So even like if you're at the Hilton level or above, you're looking around and like, this is a great space to just kind of soak up the vibe, right? You like a good vibe in a place. Gorgeous lobby, fireplaces, lighting, landscaping, the whole nine yards. This creates what Disney calls arrival magic. And I love that too. We know how I love Disney. Number 6, top things that people love to say, easy, effortless experience. Guests love when they never have to think. There's a fast check-in, there's digital keys, plenty of parking, helpful signage, easy to find elevators, smooth checkout. When it flows really well. The fewer decisions that I have to make, the more relaxed I can be. And let me tell you something. If you're in the hospitality industry, you would much prefer your guests to be calm and relaxed versus all kinds of worked up and pissed off. All right. Number 7, great food and drinks, especially the breakfast. Something to look forward to as soon as you get up. Incredible breakfast, having local cuisine, fresh coffee, good coffee. Oh my gosh, makes such a difference. The bar that has signature cocktails, room service done well. That's another one too. And memorable desserts. Yeah, well, actually, yes. We had one at the banquet at the Hilton. That was amazing. It was kind of, you cracked it open and there was like mousse on the inside. It was really cool. Number 8, staff solving problems before their problems. What? This is the difference between customer service and hospitality. So examples, bringing extra towels before they're requested. If you're checking in and you've got 4 people and you're like, yeah, this one looks, you see somebody like me that has the, hair, they're like, oh, we only plan for everybody to have like 1 towel a piece. They're going to need a couple extra towels. I'll go ahead and send those up. What? Offering umbrellas because it's raining. I just think when you walk out and you've got the guys standing there, your bellhops and stuff, they're like, oh man, absolutely take this. That is such a chivalrous thing, and I still love that so much. Providing bottled water after a long drive. Yes. Remembering dietary restrictions. That's huge. Let me just say, because I have friends who have very strict diets, and that is definitely an above and beyond memorable thing for them. Guests love being anticipated rather than reacted to. Ooh, think about that. How do we anticipate our clients, our guests, before they even know? And that says you're paying attention to all of your guests and their feedback, what their needs are, how they've experienced you and your business, what you have to experience, and helping to anticipate their next needs. I can even do a better job at that. Like, this is one of the reasons I'm changing the business model, because I want to dive into these kinds of things and get better at it. Number 9, praiseworthy, is local authenticity. Travelers increasingly love hotels that connect them to the destination. So local artwork, food, coffee, insider recommendations, the regional history, and cultural experiences. All of that is if you're traveling for pleasure and all that kind of stuff. I am traveling mostly for business, but I love taking a little extra time to do the local flavor, if you will. I just want to be able to soak up everything I can nowadays, always, in the world. And number 10, feeling cared for. This is the one that produces the 5-star reviews. Because if I'm walking away saying they truly cared about me, they cared that there was, like, I felt at home, I didn't want to leave, they treated me like family, it felt personal. Now, I do have one that I'm like, I really like that hotel. It's hard for me to not go back there now, is Comfort Inn and Suites in McDonough. They've just done a great job with me. So they've recognized me, and I can, like, it just feels, it feels like coming home every time. It's like my 3rd, 4th, 5th home at this point. So there are both good and sides to this, but if you look at your reviews and you see whoever's made a comment that's maybe been negative about an experience, look at what the flip side of that experience should have been. Is it part of your standards? Do you have standards of excellence wrote out? Do you have your brand promise wrote out? Is it formalized, and are you implementing it? If you don't and you're not, that is a break in your brand identity's integrity. So this is why I've changed a lot of things, because even with my own hotel experience, everywhere from, like I said, the $80, $90 price point all the way up, I've experienced a lot. And it comes down to how people treat people. And then operationally, is it functioning in a good, smooth, efficient flow so that there's no technical difficulties breaking into a good relationship opportunity, good connections. So think about those things. If there's something in out of the top 10s on both positive and negative that you've heard in your own business, take it to heart, review it, talk to your target audience and say, how can we do this better? And get real with yourself. Do you want to do it better? If you don't, and you're like, it's fine the way it is, then fine. Don't listen. You've already tuned me out long ago. If you want to make it better, here's a quick thing to do. Dive into your target audience and get to know them. And when I say get to know them, everything about them and the way that they want to experience the experience that you're providing. If there's one little thing, 1% more, as Raving Fans would say, the book, go get that book, Raving Fans, 1% more, like you've got your standard and then add 1%. That is what helps produce 5-star reviews and Raving Fans. And with that, y'all, this has been the episode today. This is the conversation, the top 10 great things and not so great things about the hospitality industry. Take that and apply it to your own business, and I bet you anything, what is it? I bet you a dime to a donut that it will help change your business when you start looking at the experience of your client and your guests. So with that, thank you for being a part of this episode. I thank you for hitting all of the buttons, the follows, the likes, the subscribes, the share with your friends, people out there. If you are in a small business sense, if you're a C-suite leader, if you are a senior leader, if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, pass this along. Let's grow this community, and let's keep making the experience better for all of us. Catch you on the next episode.